So now we'll start the second part of this webinar, which is on information systems, the types and the concept. We'll come to the knowledge level system. All right. So next is knowledge level system. All right. Now, what does knowledge level system mean? All right. Now, uh, information systems which are used to for discovery, process, and storage and delivery of data. And who will it be used by? It will be used by data workers and your knowledge workers. All right. So this supports discovery, processing, and storage of knowledge and data workers. Okay. And what it helps is it supports the business to integrate new knowledge into the business. Okay. Old knowledge तो है ही आपके पास. You already have the old knowledge. Now the new knowledge to help it integrate into the business and control the flow of paperwork. So an example of this would be, let's say that you are running an experiment. आपके पास you already have this experiment help you with new findings. And let's say that because this experiment you wanted to reduce your cost, so you were doing this in only one part of the country, which is Chennai. Now the findings which of this experiment, whether it was successful or unsuccessful, you want these findings to go to your branches all over India, right? Because you've already spent all the time and money and effort on doing an experiment and finding that. So this is basically your this new finding is your new knowledge. Okay, and in order for the organization to include this new knowledge, for the complete all organization level, they require knowledge level system. All right, so a knowledge level system would first of all enable you or would support discovery, processing, and storage of knowledge. All right, and secondly, it will ensure that it will help the business to integrate new knowledge into the business and control the flow of paperwork and enable group working. Okay, so the first example, the first information system used at this level is, we have studied about OAS, and the other one is KMS. Now OAS stands for Office Automation System. So basically all the day-to-day activities, right, which are to be done in an office. Let's say your documentation, paperwork, filing reports, or searching for a particular activities, all these activities, when automated, alright, or they are done by office automation system. And why do you automate anything? Because you need to improve your efficiency, alright, or control accuracy. What else? You need to reduce time and cost. These are the primary reasons why you go for automation, right? To improve efficiency, to reduce the time and cost, to improve accuracy, to improve communication, and all these are essentially the benefits, okay, of OAS. Okay, so by now I think you would have understood the most common example of office automation system is the MS Office. Any presentation that we create, any Word document that we create, for our laptops, mostly are done through MS Office. Right? So this is the biggest example of an office automation system. Okay, so now let us define it. Now, first of all, this is the most rapidly expanding computer-based information system. All right. you know how much you need more facilities, or what are the different activities. All right, so which office activities are grouped in this? As I mentioned, document capture, document creation, receipts and distribution, all right, filing, search, retrieval, all right, follow up, calculations, recording and utilization of resources. All these activities can be done through a different office of automation system. All right, and the next thing is benefits of OS. As I mentioned, it enables or it improves the accuracy of information. It improves communication, all right, creating, drafting those messages and everything. And it reduces time and cost, both of which are very important when organization. Okay, now examples of OAS. So if you you know what, first of all, the first example that we have read is MS Office. Okay, then to improve communication, so different kinds of your teleconferencing, right? You have Skype and all those things, they will be utilized then. So now let's just study about the different examples of computer based OS. First of all, you have text processing system, electronic document management system, or your PDF readers and all, electronic message communication system, okay, and teleconferencing and video conferencing communication systems. So basically your Skype and all. Okay, so these are the examples of different OS. Now we come to the second kind of knowledge level system, which is your knowledge management system. All right. Now, what is knowledge management system? Now, a KMS, as I mentioned, is utilized for your day-to-day activities at the transaction level. Sorry. आपको आना है क्या? All right. So next is our knowledge management system. Okay. So this is the second kind of information system used at the knowledge level system. Okay. Now, what is knowledge management? Knowledge management is the process of capturing, developing, sharing, and effectively using organizational knowledge. Okay, capturing, developing, sharing, and effectively using organizational knowledge. Now, what this knowledge would be used for? Okay, it refers to a multidisciplined approach to achieving, again, organizational objectives by making the best use of knowledge. As I mentioned earlier, the whole point of having different information systems is to achieve organizational objectives. Okay, now how it is utilizing is depends on which level it is being used, because this is used at knowledge level system, so this will achieve organization objectives by making the best use of knowledge. Earlier we stated that an MIS would enable optimize the growth of organization. How? By doing the activities which that does at management level, which is control, analyze. Okay, so if you are able to relate all these things and understand all these things, you will not need to remember them. Then you will understand and you'll be able to write in the exam. All right. This is a multidisciplined approach to achieving organizational objective, and how? By making the best use of knowledge. Okay. So study. It refers to any kind of IT system that stores and retrieves knowledge. This is related to your capturing wala part. Okay, improves collaboration. As I mentioned, if there would be if knowledge is being shared across different levels, it will improve your collaboration. It locates knowledge sources. As I mentioned, whether the experiment was being done in Chennai or somewhere else, so it will locate the knowledge source. And mines repository for hidden knowledge. Basically, it will ensure that you do not do repeat the same mistakes at an organizational level. If you have already tested something out, then you are able to do that. So basically, repository for hidden knowledge. Okay, and it captures and uses knowledge, or in some other way enhances the knowledge management process. So the overall objective is to do the different tasks on knowledge. First of all, storing and retrieving it. What will happen with that? It will improve collaboration. All right. It will locate knowledge sources. All right. And it will mine repositories for hidden knowledge. Okay. And this is what your KMS is. Okay. Now, there are two kinds of knowledge which the knowledge management system would utilize. All right. And these are whether you already know something. Okay. With explicit knowledge, which is obvious because you read it somewhere or someone told you. All right. And the other one is implicit or tacit knowledge. And tacit knowledge is something which is gained based on your experiences. It can be experiences or it can be the application of explicit knowledge. All right. Explicit is something that is stated, which is obvious, which you have read, all right, or have been told. Tacit is something which is based on experiences. Okay. Now, an example of KMS would be the internet access to best business practices, sales proposal strategies, or customer problem resolution systems. Right? These internet are a key feature of big organizations. All right. They are not shared with outside organizations or teams, not the complete internet. Only a few relevant files might be shared, but otherwise to the the business practices and to the different functions in an organization, these things are available. Already different case studies of customers and all. So we will simply revise this one. Okay. Knowledge is first of all of two kinds: explicit, which is which you have read or understood or have been told, and the other one is tacit, based on experiences. And that is why it is so important to capture this information, because based on someone's experience, it may be a unique experience, and you should be able to, as an organization, you should learn from those experiences. All right. So knowledge management is the process of capturing, developing, sharing, and effectively using this organizational knowledge. It refers to a multidisciplined approach to achieving organizational objectives by making the best use of knowledge. A KMS refers to any kind of IT system which stores and retrieves knowledge, improves collaboration, locates knowledge sources, mines repositories for hidden knowledge, captures and uses these knowledge, or in some other way enhances the knowledge management process. An example of this is your internet access to best business practices, customer problem solutions, case studies, or sales proposal strategies. Okay. The next one we have to study is about operational level system. Okay. All right. The next one is the fourth level, which is the operational level system. Okay. Now, this is for your day-to-day activities or the very elementary activities. Okay. And it provides a variety of information for external as well as internal use. Okay. So the role is to effectively process business transactions, okay, control industrial process, support enterprise communication and collaboration, and update corporate database. Now, too many big words. All right, let's understand. Operational level system. Let's say you go to a big bazaar or a food bazaar, and you say that, all right, pack, I have purchased these 5 items. All right, so these 5 items, they have to be first of all maintained an inventory. Okay, there has to be an inventory for the same. Okay, then apart from your the person who is at the cashier, apart from the cashier, who else needs this information? Your first of all the operational team, so that they can decide whether they need more of that inventory. Secondly, your finance team, that okay, customer X purchased items worth rupees 500, okay, and each item was for whatever price, okay. Then so basically at the same time your uh, the organization, the people need to know that okay, the location, the sales and marketing team needs to know that okay, there has been another transaction of 500 rupees from, let's say, your Delhi location, okay. So in that case you need to give all this piece of information to different functions of your organization, and this is very operational, all right, because this is uh, the first a very basic transaction on a daily basis which is happening, okay. So what are all these things between these different functions? You're basically collaborating between different functions, you're maintaining a common database, you're updating your corporate database, okay. So to effectively process business transaction, to control industrial processes like your supply and demand, to support enterprise communication, all right, that okay, this needs this a particular store is doing well or not, okay, and collaboration, okay, and to update corporate database. So now all these four functions are clear. Okay, so the first one is business transaction, industrial processes, enterprise communication and collaboration, and the fourth one is corporate database. And the main objective is to improve the operational efficiency of the enterprise. Okay. Now the information system used at this level is your transaction processing system. As I mentioned, this is at the very elementary, at the very transactional level. So it is an information system that collects, stores, modifies, and retrieves the day-to-day transactions of an enterprise. All right. So the example will help you understand this. All right. Now, any business activity such as sale, purchase, delivery, payments, etc. involves transaction. All right. And these transactions are to be organized and manipulated to generate various information for external use. External means the organizations use for other functions. Okay. All right. Now, what are the different activities which will be, tracked in operational level or transaction processing systems? The various activities will be capturing data. Okay. Then you have processing files. Now see, it is all these four activities are coming from here itself. So capturing data is your collecting. Processing file. If you're storing information, then you have to process it and there has to be a format. So processing files. Generating information. Retrieval would mean that okay, you need to generate it. And processing queries. So if there is some a requirement of data, then you need to modify it. So modifiers would be, we provide you processing query. So if you remember this definition, then you'll be able to write the different activities of TPS. All right. So once again, okay, we'll just quickly revise about the complete OS. Now operational level system will have will be utilized by operational managers in tracking elementary activities, okay, and it will provide a variety of information for external and internal use, okay. It is to effectively process business transactions, to control industrial processes, support enterprise communication and collaboration, and to update corporate database. And the main objective is to improve the operational efficiency. If your day-to-day activities are efficient, are properly done, accurately executed, that way your further level management will also be okay, with your task would be at least they have started fine. Otherwise, if the activities are not being done, executed at the very least level, at the operational level, if they're not being executed properly, then what will strategy do, right? In that case, it would be very difficult to manage. So, operational level system has to be good. Now, the example, the information system used at this level is your transaction processing system, which is defined as a type of information system that collects, stores, modifies, and retrieves the day-to-day transactions of an enterprise. Okay, and what would it work on? It would work on, so basically any business activity, whether it is sales, purchase, delivery, payment, would involve your transaction, and these transactions are to be organized and manipulated to generate various information. All right, so the different activities of TPS would be capturing data, processing files, generating information, and processing queries. Now we will study about the different features of TPS. Okay, first of all, it handles large volume of data because it is at the very transaction level. All right, so it should be it handles large volume of data. Then it is the automation of basic operations like simple sale, purchase. Okay, very basic operations, but they have to be automated. Benefits are easily measurable and the source of input for other IAs. Now this we will explain further. Let me explain this example, this point, source of input for other IAs. Okay. Now we know that in an organization, there are different levels, all right. The first one is your top level, which utilizes EIS. Then you have the middle level, which utilizes your MIS and DSS. Okay. You have KMS, which utilizes knowledge from various levels, okay, and OS. And then you have operational level, which utilizes your TPS. So basically, whatever output the TPS generates, it will be utilized by your MIS as input. Okay, then MIS will further give you some output which will be utilized as the input in DSS. Okay, and the output of MIS as well as DSS will combined to be used as input to EIS. Okay, so therefore the output generated by TPS is used as source of input for other information systems. Okay. So the simplest way to represent this is this TPS. The output of TPS is used as input in MIS. Okay. The output of MIS is used as input in DSS. Okay. And the output of DSS and MIS combined is utilized as the input for EIS. All right, so that was it about the different types of information systems. Okay. All right. Now, if there is, further that you would like to study from the same subject or, anything related to information technology that you're finding trouble in, you can write to us on support@superprofs.com so that I can cover that topic. If you want the session to be conducted in Hindi or mixed language, or if you're fine with English, then also you can tell us. All right. And if you would like further to continue with, the specific information systems, especially MIS, because that is very important, you can let us know on chat or to our email. So essentially we will wind up for today. All right, hope you all liked the session and were able to gain insight from it. So thank you all for attending this and have a very nice day. Stay tuned on Telegram channel of Super Profs. so that you get to know about all the different free sessions which are being conducted by super profs. All the best for your preparation and stay safe.